We all experience times in our lives when we want to quit. In these moments when we want to quit, it's especially important to slow down, to remain open-minded to exploring our feelings further. What triggered this thought? Was it something I watched? Was it something I saw or read? Where is this thought coming from? When we want to give up, we must remain patient with ourselves, understanding and curious. It's in these moments that we need to be especially gentle and compassionate with our tender hearts. I believe that there are 4 reasons why something you wanted did not happen. The first, it was the right thing, but the wrong time. Second, it was the right thing, but the approach or style of going about it was wrong. Third, it's not something that will actually bring you joy and fulfillment. And fourth, it's just not meant for you. The last one is the hardest to reckon with. We live in a society where people say, if you work hard, if you're consistent, if you never give up and you're always improving, your time will come. I used to believe this when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I don't necessarily believe it now. Sometimes something isn't meant to be. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It just is. So how do we learn to accept that? How do we find peace and acceptance in that emptiness of the unfulfilled dream? How can we be more compassionate towards ourselves and just let it be? You know, so often we hear the success stories. No one wants to hear the stories of people who took chances on their dreams and didn't have it work out. We don't hear about the lesser known artists or creators who tried for years and never got the recognition they deserved. And so many of us are living alongside unfulfilled dreams. There are couples who want to have children so badly and they try for years, dedicating so much money and time to IVF, but aren't able to attain their dream of becoming parents. There are the actors who move to New York and dedicate 10 to 15 years of their lives auditioning and trying to get on Broadway, but never do. They're talented, but it just doesn't happen. Where do all these unfulfilled dreams go? Where do they end up? I used to always think, it's not my time yet, but when it is, I'll be ready. What if our time never comes? What if our talents go unrecognized? Will that be enough? Will you be okay with it? Will your love for the process go away? Or will you start to resent it? As an artist, I've learned that taking risks, being yourself, and staying consistent isn't always the path to attaining a dream. There's also an element of luck and timing involved. While many of us will never always reach the dream that we hoped for, we still owe it to ourselves to be proud that we tried. Because if we don't try, we'll never know. If we don't dedicate those years of passion and love and consistency towards something, we'll never know what could have been. Daily habits, consistent self-discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs pounds, tons even. Follow your dreams. Take a break if you need to. reevaluate where you are and pause. But don't quit. Don't quit until you feel ready to let it go. I think as a society, we look down on people who change their minds about things. We think that they're flaky, that they can't commit, that they're indecisive. But here's a radical idea. You can change your mind. You can pivot. You can decide to throw it all away. You deciding to quit something doesn't make you a flake. What you are is intuitive. What you have is courage. Trust that what's for you will not go past you. That what is meant for your highest evolvement and your highest good will meet you there. I think that this requires a certain degree of hope and a little bit of faith, a faith in life, trust in life. I talk about this element of surrender and letting go a lot on my channel because I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by the concept of surrender, of trusting in life, because I have found in my own journey that when I stop controlling things, when I stop getting anxious and worried about the how, when I stop worrying about the how, I find that life really does guide me, and it often guides me to an even better place that I can't even imagine right now. When you trust in yourself and trust in your inner voice, the path will begin to illuminate, one step at a time. And you feel like you're walking in darkness, fear of the unknown, but life will catch you. I think one of the skills that we can all practice cultivating in our lives is having a healthy relationship with impermanence. Because as much as we like to think that we can control everything in life and that we are in the driver's seat of our own life, and to a certain extent we have free will, but I don't think we're fully in control. Because we can be in the driver's seat of our own lives, but there's always going to be a drunk driver on the road. There's always going to be someone who's driving recklessly and may cause us to get in an accident. Sometimes we're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we didn't manifest that. We didn't create that with our energy. That's just life. Sometimes life sucks. And having compassion and empathy for ourselves is really important and really key. If we don't have compassion for ourselves, life will always feel like a battle, and we should never fight life. On February 2nd, I wrote down this message in my journal. It says, "All three paths lead home. You cannot do this life wrong. You cannot mess it up. Every soul in life has a destination, and they will all reach it, even if they take a seemingly different path. Some paths may take longer to reach that destination. Others may require a sharp detour or pivot upon realization. But everyone will reach their destiny eventually. It's chosen for you, by you. You cannot do this life wrong." Most people associate quitting with giving up. We think that if we let go, we'll flail about, failing at life, failing at our potential and all the dreams and plans that we once had. We fear that in letting go, we'll become aimless. But in that moment of release, you have a choice. You can either trust that life will support you, that you will find the courage and resilience to battle whatever fiery dragon comes your way, or you can give up. It's only when we are not honest, when we lose integrity with ourselves, that we've ever truly given up. Have courage to follow the quiet whispers of your heart. We like knowing the destination before beginning the journey, but that's not really living. That's not fully living this life as it was meant to be lived. That's not honoring what it means to be alive. You signed up for this life to have an adventure, to have an experience. You asked for that. And that's what you're given. And this experience will have its highs and lows, its peaks and valleys, but that's part of life. That is part of what it means to be alive. And as soon as we can accept that we do not have full control over everything, and that there are many paths to choose from, and that we can choose whichever path we take, but we'll inevitably get to the place that we're meant to be. And I have one question for you today. If you knew that you would be supported, if you knew that whatever undertaking or whatever action or whatever you do in life would be supported and would work out for you in the way that either the way you want or the way that would be beneficial for you in some way. It may not look exactly the way you want, but it could look a little bit different, but it may be even better. What would you do? Trust yourself and trust your path, because your inner voice knows where you're going and where you're heading, and it's guiding you every step along the way. You never have to question yourself or wonder, am I making the right choices in my life? Am I going down the right path? You are. You are if you listen to your intuition, if you listen to your inner voice. If you're always listening to this, you may go down a dangerous path. And that's not to say you won't get to your destination, because you will, but it might be a harder path in life, you know? It might be a little bit more tricky of a situation. If you're always listening to this, which is manic and spewing at you constantly, and a chatterbox and anxious and fearful and worried and risk averse and doesn't like to take chances on anything. But if you listen to this, if you listen to your heart, your intuition, your inner voice, this will always guide you to the best path for you. Cultivating and developing that relationship with our inner voice, with our intuition, is the most important thing that we can do, because it's the most important relationship that we have, is with our inner voice. Our messages are always coming through clear to us, but they sound like soft whispers. They sound like inner knowings, gut feelings, and we can't quite put our finger on it, but we just have a feeling. I can't explain how I know things, I just know. That's all the intuition, and it's guiding you home always. All three paths lead home. You cannot do this life wrong. I hope that this video supports you and helps you feel a certain degree of trust in yourself, because I am right here cheering you on, and I am just so grateful to be able to have an outlet and a place where I can share these messages. It's truly one of the most personally fulfilling and also creatively fulfilling way for me to express myself. And I am so grateful for all of you guys for tuning in, and thank you for being here. And I'm sending you all my love and all my hugs and all my magic. And I hope you have a magical day, friend, and I will see you next time.